Started with like $1,500, never took an investment. We're now a team of over 20 full-time employees.
And at over 100 million plus now.
Actually, that's up to like 500 million plus now.
Oh my God. Oh, we're way off. Holy cow.
Congratulations.
No,
That's
no,
awesome.
I didn't pay myself for the first 2 years actually at all. Working with a spouse is not for the faint of heart by any means. He apparently gave us like his last $5,000 and that's what he invested with us to win the bid. And now he's making millions of dollars. Don't do a bunch of cocaine and try to finagle the government.
What's up, y'all? We are back. Episode 41 of the Builders Growth Lab podcast. I'm your host. This is Charlie. I am the SEO guy. That is Mallory. She's the branding and community
What up?
queen. That is Conor Douglas. He's got his own agency as well. Paid ads, email
Let's
marketing.
go.
If you're in the vibe coding or SaaS world, this is your podcast to learn customer acquisition and marketing. So before we dive in, holy smoke, did I get sick? I've been
Yeah.
told,
You sound it, bro.
You do sound it.
I've been told I sound like shit. So if I
Bear
clear
with
my
us.
throat, yeah. And looks like Mallory got kind of beat up a little bit past a couple days. I've been banged. Oh, God. Fuck off with that, Mallory. Fuck.
Sorry, for those of you who are listening, I just showed him my snot tissue.
Oh,
But I do sound better than Charlie in this
Get outta
moment.
here.
It's because I blew
You
my
do.
nose excessively, and so I got it all out before the podcast.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm gonna have to
No,
talk.
give everyone
you know?
a good one. Give everyone a real good,
yeah, just be a farm animal. Just let it go.
a
You know, maybe
farm
that's for you, Charlie, but not me. Okay.
So special guest today is Maurice Harari. He's the CEO of BidLab. It's an RFP platform. Basically, he told me, and I didn't even think of this as a thing, as the U.S. government can be a massive acquisition channel for you. And I didn't.
Crazy.
That like blew my brain apart when we were in Breckenridge. So, yeah, cool dude. Chat with him for a bit, and yeah, looking forward to that. But there's a lot that happened in the past week between huge layoffs at Block. Jack Dorsey coming out in a tweet, which I thought was pretty interesting, saying that. I'm sure
Interesting. I think it's messed up, but you know.
I'm sure internally it was obviously, it hit inboxes before that. Then
I hope.
Anthropic and OpenAI going back and forth with Department of War. That was interesting. I'm definitely going to talk to Maurice about that. I think that's very timely.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah, it actually fits quite nicely with that conversation.
Yeah. And a couple other things to go over. So, first thing first, Conor, you're a gambling degenerate, and you were gambling over the weekend. How did it go?
Oh my God.
Tell us. Tell us.
There's definitely something for poopy pants later on, but it was fine. It was fun. I didn't win anything. I lost quite a bit of money.
Oh, you're down.
Oh yeah, I came back down.
Okay, but did you have fun, Conor?
So I want to say yes, and I can't
no.
because I'm sorry, guys. Like the state of Florida it's awful. Like I used to really like Florida too. I used to be like, oh, it's warm, it's tropical. Like I love the warm weather.
We do have listeners in Florida, just FYI.
No, guys, listen, I'm sure it's lovely. I've had a lovely time every other time I've been there. This time around though, I was just so turned off. Like, and I don't know if it's because of how much it's changed in the last 5 years, really, since COVID. There's so many more people, so it's so much more crowded. And everything is super expensive when it used to be really cheap. And I don't know if they're like what it is that's going on there, but it's just not what I expected. And I usually go to the Gulf side, right? When I go visit, my sister lives down there. It's much more laid back, relaxed. I was on the Atlantic side in Fort Lauderdale, South Florida area. And just something about it didn't vibe. So like from the second we got off the plane, it was just not great. Everything was a wait too. Like get into Fort Lauderdale airport. We had to wait an hour and a half to get our car that we rented. So it already put me in a bad mood. And then we get to the hotel, the Hard Rock. I don't care. Screw the Hard Rock, man. They suck.
Whoa.
They
Really?
suck.
What happened?
Wait, where
awful.
were you though again? In which part of Florida? Can you remind me?
Fort Lauderdale. So,
Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
So we stayed at the Hard Rock, which was in Hollywood, Florida. And dude, they're charging you prices that are like that. like they're blowing Vegas out of the water with what they want to charge you. And I'm sorry, it's not a Vegas hotel. Like, I don't care how nice it looks, that you are not a Vegas hotel. So don't
That's
charge Vegas
crazy.
prices.
Was the
Yeah.
pricing not worked out before y'all got there though?
It was, and they charged me an extra $300 for my Saturday night. Dude, they charged $1,000 to stay there on Saturday night. $1,000.
Oh my God.
A
And
thousand bucks.
but wait, wasn't that already built into
Like,
was
when
that
I
built in pricing when you
That's
booked
what I'm
that?
saying.
Or
When
what
I
happened?
pre-booked it, it was 705 or something, and they changed the price. And they're like, "Oh, like, yeah, we had to change the price." They didn't have an excuse. This is the other thing too. There was no excuse for anything. Everything was a wait for them. For what I paid to stay in that hotel for 2 nights too, it's like, I get it.
Yikes.
Hotels have their check-in times, all this and all that,
Sure.
but it's like
Like
their
they
check-in
should
time was-
respect that rate.
They should. And I didn't. It doesn't matter. It was a very, very frustrating experience. Hard Rock is a no-go. I lost some money.
Damn.
The nicest part of it was the hotel pool was beautiful, so I enjoyed a nice pool day. Fine, whatever. And then I went to go see the Mets play spring training, which was like 2 hours
that's
north of
cool.
Fort Lauderdale. So once I was out of
Yeah,
Fort
yeah.
Lauderdale, I was happy. But overall, the trip was save your money, go to DR, go to the Caribbean, go on a cruise.
Yeah.
Do not go down there. It's a lesson learned.
That's a bummer.
It was a
Especially
bummer.
Fort
Yeah, that
Lauderdale,
sucks.
like
That's
it's
sad.
not like you were in like another part, like in the inland or anything like that. Like you
It
were.
was huge bummer. But listen, again, it's like I go on a lot of trips, and I've yet to have a really bad one, at least in the last 5 years. And I just feel like those happen, right? Once
So
in a
you were
while.
just due for it on your birthday.
I think I was just due for it on my birthday, and I was like, okay, lesson learned. Don't go back to Florida for a long time, if ever again, except to visit my sister. And next time I will be going to an all-inclusive resort somewhere else. So, but I did lose a lot of money. I lost quite a bit of money. No bueno. The last night that we were there, though, I was like, Zoe, let me go back down to the tables, and instead of playing slots, I'm going to go play roulette. And I got like half of the money back that I had lost, so I
Whoa.
felt a little bit better.
Okay.
And it was a lot more fun doing the roulette table than it was anywhere else. So
What made
Yeah.
you stop at just half?
it was just getting late, and I was like, I don't want to do the thing, which I see. This is what I will do. I will not stop. I will not.
That's
and
what I'm
then
getting
you'll
at,
lose
yeah.
it all.
And then I will
again.
lose it all, and
That's
I
my
will be the
question,
guy who's
yeah.
like starts with 1,500 and is down to like, or up 1,500, and I'll have $5 less from it, and I'll be like, whatever, like, who cares? And I'll just lose it all instead of staying up.
Oh
So
my God.
yeah. So there was my weekend. There it was.
When did you get back?
Oh, this was the other part of it too. It was just a bad. So
Damn.
we got to the airport. Our flight was canceled.
Oh,
Oh,
So we get to the airport, and we get to the airport like 2 hours early, like
because of
earlier than
snow?
usual, because Fort Lauderdale is such a shit show.
oh my
And we're like,
God.
all right, let's like avoid all this. We get in, and of course, getting into Fort Lauderdale, it only takes 10 minutes. So now I'm like, great, I'm just gonna sit here for 2 hours and whatever, dick around. And then the flight gets delayed by 30 minutes, and they go, sorry, unfortunately, the flight crew hasn't showed up. The flight crew no-showed. They no-showed.
whoa.
Okay.
So they
what?
canceled the flight, and then me and Zoe are immediately like on our phones, like, oh my God, we got to get a flight. So then we find a JetBlue flight, but of course they're gonna, charge you out the ass. So it's
Oh my
$600
God.
per person to get back from Florida to New York, which is absolutely insane. It's a 2.5 hour flight. So we end up getting a flight for 4 to 5 hours later. That one gets delayed by an hour and a half. We were supposed to be home at like 6 p.m. We got home at 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Sorry, it's
man.
not funny, but I'm
it's
the only reason
hilarious.
I'm laughing because it's like it just keeps getting worse.
It
Like
was-
I just thought maybe okay, well, like the departure was smooth, you know what I mean? But like
There was
not even
nothing about this trip
Ooh, man.
that had any redeeming quality except for the spring training game.
that. Mhm.
That was fine. It was fun. I tried to see, the light in
Did
that,
you-
but
Did you go to a Publix and get a pub sub?
no, I don't want to hear Publix. I don't want to hear anything relative to Florida ever again.
I
in my
mean,
life.
that's fair. It's just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
grocery
yeah,
store.
That's fair.
you
Those
know.
subs are banging.
But they're probably good.
They're
I'm sure they're
incredible. They're
But I was so happy to be back home. We were just like, oh my God, thank the Lord. There's no upcoming trips. I'm just. I told her,
that's
I was
how
like,
felt after I left the Philippines. I'm like, I just need to not travel for a second.
that's how I feel. And I
Yeah.
love to travel. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't want to
same.
travel anywhere. Like, I just feel like,
Wow.
I don't know, I'd rather just stay at home and be comfortable. So,
Yeah, that's fair. Damn.
it
And
happens.
it's
It
snowing where you're at too. You know what I mean? So for
Yeah.
you to say that is a strong statement because it's like you're in the cold right now. So
Yep.
damn.
Florida,
Damn,
you
well,
let
that's
me
a
down.
bummer.
Ooh.
Let me down, Florida. Anyway, that's me. What about you guys? How was, I guess besides getting deathly ill?
Okay, well, my weekend was not nearly as eventful as Connor's, so I'm not gonna have this like groundbreaking story to share with y'all. Um, First, I just want to say I'm really glad that the ticks didn't take over my house because I took my dogs on a really long walk on
Whoa.
Friday, and everything's blooming here in San Francisco right now. Like the flowers are blooming, my
Yeah.
cherry blossom, my yard's blooming, which I love, but then my allergies don't like. And then when you have cold weather and the warm weather comes through, it's just a breeding ground for ticks, bugs, flowers, all the things. And so I came home and there's just like one tick on my dog, two like ticks in my house, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then my allergies are acting up. I'm like, am I sick or am I not sick? So that was me for 2 days. I'm like, am I sick or am I not sick? I don't know. And then by the time I got to Sunday, I had a mix of my cold, my allergies, my period coming up. I'm like, oh, I'm sick. I'm sick.
God damn it.
Oh, sorry, I have to say that word because these two are allergic. Even though they have partners, but
Partners, I have two sisters,
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly. That's just me just trying to break up the broiness in the podcast, of course. But and then I had brunch club on Sunday. We went to a new place called Sisterita in San Francisco. More of a trendy brunch spot, so you never know if it's going to be good because it's trendy. But I can say I had a salmon eggs Benedict, very freaking good. So would go back again, highly recommend. Besides that, even though I was feeling sick on Sunday, I was like, I gotta sing. So I'm like coughing up a storm and I'm like trying to sing and I don't know why.
What were you singing?
What was I singing? What was I singing this weekend? Have you guys heard of Goldie Boutier? Goldie Boutier.
Familiar?
No.
She's kind of like she sings a lot of rock. She's a newer artist. She's gorgeous, but she has sick. I think you guys would like her music actually. But I was singing a little bit of that. What else? Singing a little bit of trying to learn some Whitney Houston, trying to learn some Celine Dion. 'Cause I like those.
Like that one?
Yeah,
The
but when I
Bodyguard?
went to the Philippines, all the kids were like, "Do you know Queen of the Night by Whitney Houston?" I'm like, "No." And so I'm like, "Let me learn that for the next time I decide to go to the Philippines and sing karaoke." But yeah, I'm a fan of Goldie Boutier, so she's awesome.
Goldie Boutier. Okay.
And like, just getting some work done this weekend, like there's nothing exciting to share. Just really nothing exciting. I was just recovering from the Philippines. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. When after a really long trip, the week after, you're like, I need to just rot and hang out and do the bare minimum. Like that was me last weekend.
So Mallory, I have a friend who, one of my really close friends, he's dating a Filipino girl, and they're planning to do their trip, and they're going to go for 3 weeks. And he said that she had told him that they need at least 3 days to just like, once they get there, to just sleep, right? Like sleep and just catch up because the time difference is so, it's totally opposite, isn't it? Like a 12-hour difference. So she's like, yeah, well, we're going to get there. But like the first 2 to 3 days, like we're not going to plan or do anything. We're just going to like catch up to our body. Like, And then I told them, I was like, oh, I have like a friend, a colleague that I work with. And she just went to like, oh, how long did you go for? I was like 5 days. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, like she just went for 5 days. Like, oh my God, is she okay? I'm like, she seems fine.
Is she okay?
A lot of people, when I came home, because I had 2 Mondays, I talked about them on the podcast, and I just went straight into the week. I had no rest. I didn't like, gnarly. I just like rocked, like jet lag. Fuck you. I don't even know who you are. I don't even like time differences. I don't even know. Like, I feel like I figured it out. But that's why by the end of the week, I'm like, I just need to rest. I think.
That's what I did. Yeah. For like, I think 2, maybe 3 days actually after Thailand. I was just I was just a gross, I was like a house cat. I just like laid around.
A house cat.
My team was kind of worried. One of my team members, her name is Fiona. She's the creative director at our studio. And she's like, dude, you're not kind of psychotic. Like that's what she told me. I was like, well, I gotta kind of get back to it. Look, ideally, if you're planning a trip to the Philippines, Thailand, like don't do what I did, which is, be gone for a week and 2 of those those days are travel and you're only there for 5 days.
Yeah.
Like
You
I
need
did that
2 weeks.
specifically to meet family, but yes, I agree with Charlie. Like you
Yeah.
definitely need at least 2 weeks. So don't do that.
And just for like your social media and being around those big airports, like that Bangkok airport is no joke. That thing is like I love airports for some reason. I don't know why. That Bangkok airport is fucking
Ooh,
gnarly.
speaking of airports, sorry, and then we'll talk about your weekend, Charlie. But has anyone here gone to the airport in Singapore? I have not, but it is on my
No.
bucket list.
I've heard it's nice though, and of course
It's
like
insane.
Singapore.
Like,
Isn't
you
that
could
with like
spend a
the
week
crazy? Well, it's like Singapore Airlines or whatever it is. Aren't those the planes that have like the insane like
nice.
first class
Yeah.
like seating areas too?
Yeah.
Oh,
where
I
it's,
don't
like,
know.
The upstairs, like the
Yes, like has like it's like a
I
two-story
forgot what they
plane.
call them, but yeah, that's it.
But it has that crazy like waterfall in the middle. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I want to look this up. It's the
No,
Singapore airport.
You have to look it up. It's actually cool. For those of you who are listening, it's actually worth looking up.
Oh,
You can spend a full week here. Like there are
Really?
people in Singapore that will just go to the airport because like you could eat anything there. They have a bunch of hotels. They have all these beautiful like
This is
nature
insane.
areas. One of my friends told me there was like a beautiful cactus garden where you could see every cacti in the world, which like I'm a plant nerd, so I love stuff like that. But apparently it's like one of the
Wow,
best
look at
airports in the
that.
world.
4.7
beautiful.
stars.
It's beautiful.
Almost 64,000.
Yeah, well, Fort Lauderdale had a 4.72, and
No,
don't
this
go
is
by
not-
the ratings. Don't go by
Trust
the
me,
ratings.
This is better than Fort Lauderdale's airport. I haven't been, so I can't confirm, but I know. I just know it. Okay. I would
Yeah,
put money on that shit.
I think
would put money
I think
on it.
next trip, especially for BGL as we get into my week or international, I do want to do Scandinavia this week, and I need to take at least 2 weeks to do that.
That's cool.
So
Okay, but how was your weekend, Charlie?
other than getting really freaking sick, and I get so pissed off when I get sick because it's so inconvenient. I have so much shit to do between
Yeah.
migrating the podcast and then campaign pilots, and yeah, I just got poopy pants, and so let's see, through the week, played hockey, dialing in. We are rebranding BGL, Builders Growth Lab. Excuse me. So looking at final drafts of that. Looking at content for campaign pilots as we update the front end of the website, which would be pretty cool. So there, as Mallory says, there's less shit on the website. It actually looks like a proper website, and
Let's go.
I really did like rush through that. I just want to get the app up, get it functional. So working with one of Conor's devs on that, and that should be live within the week, I think.
Probably like a week or two.
I think, yeah. So that's a pretty
Okay,
cool
well, I want to
design.
see a preview of this. You should show me.
Yeah.
It's funny because I had an intro to send to Conor this weekend from a
You had a
friend
what?
in New York who I had an intro to send over to Conor this weekend for a friend I spoke to on Friday that is a part of a massive influencer agency. And I told Conor, I'm like, Conor, can you send me a link to your website? And then he sends it to me. He's like, we're working on it. And I was like, yeah, it needs work.
I'm actually redoing it right now in Claude Code. It actually
hell
looks
yeah.
quite
Okay.
nice.
That's perfect.
So-
I bet it probably because it's which like look.
And this is your Astoria site, right?
Yeah,
I think it looks fine. I mean,
it looks
No,
too
I'm-
local, right? It's too local. It's
Yeah.
too small potatoes.
It's fine.
very
I'm
like
just being
stock,
a jokester.
stock
Yeah.
photo. You're not. Don't lie, Mallory. You
Yeah.
don't- you
Yeah,
don't
Okay,
have
Mallory's-
you're right. I'm not.
You don't have to
Mallory's
be
just
nice.
Just being a
Like-
honey badger.
You don't have to be nice.
Yeah, no, it does look like shit.
Say
Anyways,
the fucking words, Charlie. Like, fuck off, Mallory. Spirits have got me.
I'm sorry.
So yes, there's less shit on the campaign pilot's website. That is being updated. That is cool. Some new agentic features are going in there, which we'll talk about later in the next episode. Yeah, so I got sick. I freak out when I get sick. I freaking hate it. I can't.
I feel like all
so-
men do, but that's fine. Continue.
Yeah, like there is a thing like the man cold, or like
Oh, it's definitely a thing.
oh yeah, yeah. I was like comatose on Friday, even though I played hockey on Friday too.
Oh my
actually.
God. How?
This guy, there's a guy that owns land about halfway, so in between Denver and Colorado Springs. So it's about an hour south of Denver proper. This guy has a ranch. He just has a bunch of land, and he built an ice rink. like a badass ice rink, fully functional, ice, Zamboni, locker rooms, boards, glass, netting, like the whole thing. But it's a little bit smaller than I guess he just has a ton of money. A little bit smaller than a NHL reg. So it's 4-on-4. So we played 4-on-4. So I got my heart rate up. I mean, I was pretty gassed after that, and then I got more sick. So
Seeing
Saturday,
your body needs rest, Charlie, when you're in
yeah.
that state.
Saturday and Sunday, I was down for the count. I did some work and I got into the show. Have you guys seen We Crash?
We
No.
Crash. Oh wait, is
Yeah.
that the WeWork show? The
Yeah.
WeWork? Yeah. Oh yeah, with Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I've seen. Is
And-
it called We Crash?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jared Leto, right?
Jared
Yeah,
Leto,
yeah, That
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out
yeah.
like a couple years ago. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I watched that over the weekend. I thought that was pretty, man, that dude he is out there. That guy's a lunatic.
Yeah.
Good for him for like thinking that big though. Like that's pretty badass, but yeah, he is out there.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Do you know anybody, Mallory? I mean, you're an SF or Conor. Do you know anybody that worked there that has any
Oh,
crazy stories
no,
or anything?
actually. I
No.
don't. No, I don't actually.
We had an angel investor on here earlier, a couple episodes ago, and she was in commercial real estate in New York, and I asked her, "Could you see the crash of WeWork?" She's like, "Oh my God, like everybody could except for Adam Newman. Like
Oh, wow.
they overvalued everything." So, anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
really cool show, badass show. There's supposed to be one for Facebook coming out soon.
Is
I
there?
think. Yeah, I'm more asking. I thought I read that somewhere. The Uber
There
show
should be
was,
one.
yeah, the Uber one was pretty cool. You know, it'd be cool if they did one for Lovable. That'd be cool. It's the fastest growing
Yeah.
startup ever, right?
No, that's a good point, actually. Like, I'm sure we'll see some of that, like in the future. Like it'll kind of transform into like,
Definitely.
shows around how AI companies are growing and and what that's like. Just because, like, I always tell people, like, I've been at a unicorn startup. Like Discord was a unicorn startup, right? From
Was
like
it?
30 to 1,000 people. Yeah, absolutely. In terms of the money they raise, in terms of how
Yeah.
fast they grew, in terms of all of that, like definitely a unicorn. But after joining Bolt and sort of understanding the AI space more, like it's crazy how quickly everything moves and changes, and it's nothing like I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
Even though I've been at like a fast growing startup, right? So like I'd love to see what the storytelling and
Yeah.
shows and movies around that, because I think it would be really interesting.
Yeah, wrapped up the show, and yeah, I think that'd be perfect given this. Wasn't vibe coding the word of the year last year or something? It was
Oh,
like,
was it really?
like Webster's word of the year or something? Yeah. Anyway, I wouldn't. I'm hoping there's a behind the scenes show like that for an AI company.
That would be cool.
Anyways, speaking of that, also, there was a tweet we put out on the BGL account on LinkedIn that I believe it was Mark Liu put something out. He tweeted out, hey, there should be like a BGL. Let me look at this. It's like a BGL, or pardon me, a BGL. He had a really good idea that was backed up by Pat Walls of Starter Story. So they are now doing a collab on something, and I can't remember what it was. That was my weekend. And yeah, our next guest. Oh, real quick, before we jump into that, are y'all building anything with Claude?
Still not yet. I keep trying to get to it, and I'm just so stuck in Claude code still with it. Like I keep adding more projects into it now that I'm very comfortable with it. So I'm just in there. But I'm so frustrated because I know if I took the time to do OpenClaw, it would do all of that for me. Like I wouldn't even need to be working in Claude code. But I've spoken with, I have a client who's actually very, very into like the vibe coding space, and he set it up, and he's even sent me what it's put together. Huh?
He set up OpenClaw?
Yeah. And it's doing like, it's insane what this thing does, man.
Oh my God.
But he said it took
I'm scared of it.
a good week or two
Yeah.
to get it going. And it's like, that's what's like keeps.
And you
like,
gotta like do
pushing
it
me
right,
off.
because I keep hearing these stories of like, okay, I downloaded Claudebot to just help me with email management, but then it actually it like deleted all my emails to the point where I had to unplug the computer to stop it from actually deleting my emails when it's supposed to be like responding to right. So it's like to your
Correct.
point, Connor, it's got to be set up super properly, or that type of shit's going to happen essentially.
And yeah, it's just a long setup. So for me, I'm almost like, well, I got to carve the time out and I need to do it. And I'm scared to use it, but it's like, it's got to be used, man. Like
Yeah,
I'm getting
I'm with
clients
you.
who, again, the client who set it up, like he's doing stuff that I was doing for him. Like he's doing his own web development. He's creating his own CRM. He's creating his own lead system, right? Like these are all things that are going to replace what I provide. So if I don't learn it and I can go to somebody and say, oh, listen, I can like, don't worry,
Yeah.
I know OpenClaw, I can do it for you. They're going to just be like,
Yeah.
well, I'll just take the 2 weeks and I'll just figure it out myself. So,
Yeah.
and listen, that's not going to be the majority. I still think that's the minority, but
It
I'd
will be.
rather be ahead of the curve than
Yeah, then
behind.
behind.
So I need to learn how to use it because I want to be, listen, part of my service package, I want to be able to build out agentic systems. Like
Yeah.
that's what I want a service offering to be. So
That's where it's going now. Like I think the industry, Andre, is it Carpathy? One of the co-founders of OpenAI tweeted it's no longer vibe coding, it's agentic orchestration.
yeah,
This
correct.
is here, this is here, this is over
Yeah.
here. And
Correct. So
the buzzword, it wasn't vibe coding, it was agentic engineering is what
Yeah.
it was.
but one thing I will say too is
And
before we-
yes, I bought that domain. Not a
Oh
big deal.
boy.
Of course. But I will say with that too, I do think having the experience, Mallory, you said this last week. It's like having the experience with Claude Code and Cursor and other tools, I think is almost like the prerequisite to using OpenClaw. Because if you don't understand how to use that or how to
Yeah.
prompt it, then how are you going to understand how to use OpenClaw? Or you'll run into mistakes where it just, again, it removes
Yeah.
all of your emails. It sends something out that's wrong. I heard there was one that created a dating profile for somebody. And it's like they were married. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, so it's just like going off and doing these
Oh
random things.
no.
So it is scary, but I think you need to have the prerequisite of understanding how to actually use some of these other platforms before you even. And I'm not talking about ChatGPT or just Claude, like Claude Code, Codex,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Cursor,
Cursor.
like Lovable, like all these things. Like learn how to prompt,
Yeah.
learn how to prompt the right way before you just jump into this thing because it could definitely cause you a mess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Well, yeah, let's jump into our guest, Maurice Harari. He's the founder of BidBanana. It's RFPs as a distribution channel, basically, is what it is. So, he's a cool dude. He's the brother of
Robert.
forgetting
Robert.
Yeah,
Robert Harari.
yes. Yeah,
Rhymes with Ferrari.
like Ferrari with an H. When didn't he have a concert coming up, Connor?
He did. He never hit me back up. Sad.
I know.
Freaking
Yeah.
Robert. No, I'm just kidding.
I never got back
Robert.
to-
It's all right.
Okay.
We like Robert anyway.
We
He was
do.
a cool dude.
He was.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, so
It
we got
is-
Maurice. Go ahead, Connor.
Super. Yeah, it's just super interesting because I was just reading up on Maurice and stuff. Have you guys ever been through like government RFPs or anything or like state RFPs?
No, I haven't.
So I have, yeah.
Are
They're brutal.
insane.
And I don't
they're
really want to.
Brutal.
I
So
don't really want to, but I'm curious
y-
to learn about it.
I think it's definitely like knowing you, Mallory. It's not your
No.
speed or your lane. Like no, it's not. I
That's
think it's
fucking horrible.
probably a little bit
And
more
I hate
mine
the
or-
government. so
more
it's
Charlie's,
like, I
yeah.
don't want to.
But
Actually, no. So when I worked at the magazine, my biggest client was the U.S. Army. Not a big
interesting.
deal. And yeah, I got him from a cold call, and I got the dude. He was at an agency. I saw a full page ad, and he was at an agency called AMRG, Army Marketing Research Group, and they were in Knoxville. And I caught him. His hot button was STEM education, and he's like, yeah, like there's such a bad stigma around it, and he couldn't say because of all the red tape around government
Sure.
procurement. He couldn't say we have a deal, but he did say put a courtesy hold on this. Here's my cell phone. Here's my home phone number. And then he said, here's what's going to happen. We're going to put together a purchase order and blah, blah. And there's like so many steps that had to be done.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a sales guy, it was like brain numbing. Like, okay, you
Interesting.
have to talk to this person. You have to talk to this person. Then you have to
Yeah.
talk to McCann Erickson. They're like official, like national scale agency of record. And it was, which does like Cadillac and McDonald's and all that. And there was like so many steps that had to be done. And I remember thinking, this is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. So if
Yeah,
there's
man.
a way to, I don't know about expedite, just make it easier. And look, they're great. I mean, obviously the name U.S. Army, because then I just leveraged that for new clients, and they always pay on time. It's not like they're not going to pay. Um, yeah, they were great, but it's the process of getting it was a pain in the ass.
Yep,
Mm.
it's arduous, but they're big contracts, right? So that's
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
people are so
yeah,
into
they're
them.
big
But
boys.
it's almost I'm really curious just to see how Maurice speaks to it because it's almost like you need to know somebody to typically get into these things, and it sounds like he's kind of circumvented that. So
Really
Interesting.
yeah,
interesting. Okay. Well,
All
cool. Yeah,
right.
let's cut to the interview. All right, we are here with Maurice Harari. He's the co-founder and CEO of BidLab and the creator of Bid Banana. Maurice, welcome
Hello,
to
hello,
Builders
everyone.
Growth Lab. Welcome to the
Maurice,
show.
We're having
Also
me
the
welcome.
brother of
today.
Robert Harari's, which we also talked to a few weeks ago. So
Yeah,
Robert is the brother of me, who he's
yeah.
my little brother. But yes,
I was gonna
absolutely.
ask who's oldest, who's oldest, middle, youngest.
You know, it's so amazing because I know the podcast listeners won't be able to see me, but the fact that I'm getting this question means that I'm doing something right. Robert's my little brother, and I am, me and him have always been just helping each other and guiding each other through things. And he told me he had a blast on this podcast. I'm excited. It's gonna be
yeah,
awesome.
that's amazing. Wait, okay, so what's the age difference? I need to know.
How does it look? What do you guys think?
Well, I'm the okay, that's a great question. I asked
That's
because
the
I'm
right
the
answer.
oldest. I have three sisters, and I feel like I kind of believe in the whole like family lineage. Like the oldest is
Uh-huh.
kind of a certain type, and the youngest is a certain type. And
Definitely.
obviously there's exceptions to that, but I'm curious. I'm like, because my
Yeah, yeah.
youngest sister's 10 years younger than me. I'm 33, she's 23.
Wow.
And
Oh,
we're
nice,
also
Mallory. We're the
very
same
similar,
age.
but yeah. But I'm like, ooh, I wonder what that's like for Maurice and Robert.
I love how you didn't answer it, and it's amazing because you didn't want to.
I
I
did
too
it.
am. I'm also 33, by the way, Mallory. I am
Yes.
4 years older than Robert. He is, which it felt like so much growing when we were like
But it's not
young.
though.
Now
Yeah.
we're like best friends, and
You look
we,
Yeah.
fantastic,
yeah.
33, Maurice. You look great,
Thank you,
33. You're
thank you.
welcome.
And Connor, what about you? How old are you?
I just a freshly turned 38.
Oh,
So
okay, a
birthday
fresh
was last
38.
week.
A
So
fresh
yeah,
38.
fresh
Yeah,
38. All right. I say that as to not get too close to 40. I'm almost there, but
as long as
just
we're
We're
not
the
at
young
40.
ones here, Maurice. We're the young ones here. Like Charlie's
Yeah.
also, I think, mid to upper 30s as well, right, Charlie?
I turned 40 in October.
Holy
40's the new
shit.
40's the new 25.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
That is
that's
true.
it.
That is true.
That's right.
Sorry.
guys,
Excuse my
rewind
That's
10
reaction.
seconds ago, and Connor was like, I'm not 40. I'm not 40. Don't
I
worry. I'm
know,
not
I
40.
know. Like that's what I'm hearing. So piss off, Conor.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I remember when I was turning 30, though, I was so nervous to turn 30 because I'm like, oh, my 20s and now I'm like, my 30s are awesome.
No, 30's great.
Oh,
30's
30s
great
are
because you have
great.
more money, right? Like
Yeah,
than you did in your
and
20s.
experience
And
and
I think it's
everything.
it's different for dudes too, because I feel like guys like ramp up later in life. So
You know what?
um,
Yes, Charlie,
That's
I'll take
true.
that. Yeah, can we wrap up later in life? Like
yeah.
it's great. The best is yet ahead. The
I
best is
told them
ahead.
and yeah, I told them in Breckenridge like I hit puberty when I was like 34
Oh
or
my God.
35.
Oh my
Oh, I
God.
have that next year then. Oh
I started
God.
34?
my
Going through that again.
like I got my shit
Jeez.
together. I started my first
he
company.
started growing a beard, his voice
Yeah, I grew
changed.
Yeah,
some
Like,
years.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Leave
Mm-hmm.
me
No,
alone.
and when you
Okay.
really
Leave me
grow
alone.
up, then you're going to be like Connor and have the mustache. I mean, that's really
this is
when
the
Yeah.
sign
you,
of
yeah, that's when
maturity
you
right
really
here.
made it. That's when you
Yeah.
really made it.
Well,
It's awesome.
can you
Oh.
tell us about the platform you've made? You know, you briefed me
Yes.
on it, and I told you this on the call. Like, first thing I think of is that movie War Dogs, where
Yeah.
Jonah Hill goes and he buys weed and he starts fucking ripping a machine gun in the air because they rip him off. Like I think of that.
Best movie. I just watched it on a flight. Everyone quotes it. I love that quote. I mean, I love that movie. It's just such a like
It's a badass
solid
movie.
way of
Yeah.
it's a
Good.
badass movie,
Yeah.
and there's some truth to it, and there's some, Hollywood to it, but it's also just such a awesome way. I mean, that's really what we do is government contracting. We help people, we help small and medium-sized businesses navigate all the complexities to sell to the government, which is a huge buyer no matter where you are on the political spectrum. It's, they spend over $1 trillion a year. It's a huge opportunity for small businesses, medium-sized businesses. And we always had a consulting business, right? We were helping people, we were guiding them very manually, and successfully. right? We grew that business. We made the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies last year with that business. Really
All
exciting.
that. Congrats.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge.
And then, but a few years ago, we noticed a huge pain point that people were just like not able to find bids the way that they wanted to find them. They were wasting a lot of time like deciding if a bid should be worth pursuing. And especially for small businesses, that's not really so easy. Like they don't have a bid writer in house. Like it's usually a an executive or an owner that's trying to do a bid in their spare time, which is like an oxymoron, trying to do a bid in your spare time. So we tried to make it as easy as possible, which I am so excited we did, and it worked, and it's great. And with all these new AI tools that are rolling out, we're rolling out crazy self-service tools for people to be able to do the bid on their own without our help, which is really a dream come true for me. I've been wanting to do this for the last 10 years, and AI and just tech has not been there.
Yeah.
So a very exciting moment for us. We're going to be able to help more people with our software.
Very
Got it,
cool.
got it.
So, okay. So it looks like you stumbled into RFPs and then you kind of watched a consultant botch your wife's proposal and then worked through the night to fix it. So, like, at what point did that
Yeah.
become a business for you?
That's, unlike Robert, my brother, who is like the Mr. Entrepreneur who, is can start a business in his sleep. I'm actually, to your point, like the older brother, a little bit more risk averse. I wasn't naturally like the entrepreneur and that's why I think I do very well with RFPs. I'm always minimizing risk for people. That
Yeah.
was my job. I was working for a big tech company. I was doing their RFPs. I was loving it. I mean, I actually really loved that job. It was an awesome job. And when my wife at the time, she was running car dealerships and they needed to do an RFP in order to open up a new car dealership. And so when they were issued one, my wife worked with a consultant that charged them like 10 grand. It was ridiculous. And they just kind of did the thing that was like the lazy, copy paste from previous proposals and just made it really the sloppy thing for 10 grand. And my wife showed me the bid, and I, being obsessive, I was like, no, 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 no. You cannot put your name on this. Like, we are not submitting this. We're redoing it. We spent all night redoing the bid. And we cleaned it up so much. And this is even before we started the business, and we've learned so much since then. But even then, we submitted the bid, and this huge Fortune 500 company called my wife and was like, "This bid is insane. Who did your bid? Like, this is awesome."
Really?
And
So cool.
my wife was like, "Wait, what?" Like, and we realized, hey, we like the competition is charging way too much money, and people aren't getting the help, and business owners don't know how to like review that enough to really understand what's missing. And she was like, let's do this. Let's start something and really help, businesses do this. I was bored, kind of doing the bidding process for one huge tech company. I was excited. I wanted to do something and use my powers for all these small businesses to really grow. And then the business was born. Started with like $1,500. Never took an investment, never took
That's crazy.
anything.
Really?
We're now a team of over 20 full-time employees,
Wow.
growing rapidly. And it's just been amazing.
And at
Yeah.
over 100 million plus now in sort of client wins too.
Yeah, actually, that's up to like 500 million plus now.
Oh my God. Oh, we're way off. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
yeah,
That's
no,
awesome.
it's I have to say that's because I have an amazing team. Really, like I work on helping clients really navigate our onboarding, but other than that, I mean, our team of consultants are truly incredible. They go crazy above and beyond for our clients, and it shows in the results. It's awesome.
Very cool.
Cool,
I
cool.
guess okay, so when did you realize then that the core problem was finding the right bids versus not writing them? Like, what is that
Oh, yeah.
process like?
So we were writing all these bids, and these clients were like, I want to do more with you. I want to win more with you. I want to, help us find these. And we would. We're like, great, we're incentivized, right? We're gonna have more work to do. Of course we want to. But what we found was no, the government agencies don't make it easy for you to just search across the country. There's the federal government, there's the state government, there's all these local municipalities, like your local school district. and they don't interact with each other. They don't,
Of course they
all
don't.
come under yeah, like that'd
Yeah.
be too easy,
That'd be
right?
asking way too much of them.
Yeah. I mean, just what like to be able to make, contracts available for people to see. I
Yeah.
feel like that should, and so we really did the painstaking work of going through and finding each individual source and grabbing them and putting them into a database and making sure they're maintained and in a coherent,
Mm.
search result. It's like every single entity has its own thing that it focuses on publishing, but we want to make it a uniform user experience. So it's like, when Google, right? When you Google something, the results kind of look the same. It kind of feels outdated saying Googling something these days with like the results without like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ChatGPT. But you want a consistent result. You want something that's easy to understand the differences between different results and to be able to make that decision for yourself. We also give people a ton of tools to make it easy, like they could get daily emails. There's AI tools that once you find a great bid, it actually has like a Netflix type of feature that it shows you similar bids or things that you might
Mm.
also like. And that is one of our most popular features. Clients really
That's
love
cool.
love that. Shout out to Aaron on my team for rolling that one out. And I mean, and really that's just the start. I mean, now we're going down the pipeline of the RFP completion process and adding tools for each step. And they're guided by our consultants who have spoken with over 1,000 small businesses over the years. And they're
Yeah.
guided by them to be able to be like, no, that button needs to go here because no one's everyone's panicking at this stage, right? It's right before the submission. You need to make it huge and clear where to submit, things like that we're incorporating into the workflow to make things just super easy to submit bids on your own.
That's so cool. Are you looking for anything specific, Maurice, like with these RFPs, like, or is it dependent on the client that you're working with or consulting with at the time?
Yeah, it's a good question. It really is client specific, but I always tell every client that you need to really focus on the ROI. And one of our recent tools that we've introduced that people also love is we actually give like an AI estimate of what the
Mm.
bid is worth.
No.
And that is
Oh.
the biggest determining factor because you might love a bid, it might be a perfect scope for you, but if the budget's
Mm.
too small,
Yeah.
it's just
Then
not
what's the
going to be worth
point?
it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it has to be worth it. It's work, to do, and you want to be able to really be excited if you win.
Yeah.
So the ROI is the
Yeah.
biggest thing I look
Gotcha.
for.
Interesting.
Kind
Do you
of
go ahead, Charlie?
kind of going back, Maurice, to when you started the company. What was that first year like? Like,
Hell.
what did you learn?
I mean, that's the honest answer, so I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna guess as an obsessive, you were working what, 20-hour days maybe?
Yeah, which is why again I'm going back to the fact that I still look good after all that. It's crazy.
Yes.
No, it's a lot of work, and I was lucky enough. I founded the company with my wife. So those 20-hour days ended up being like 40-hour outputs because and my wife is actually the one that her output is incredible compared to what I'm capable of, but it's really the that first year, it's every single dollar you're getting in, you're also reinvesting into the company, right? I didn't pay
Yeah.
myself for the first 2 years actually, at
Wow.
all.
Wow.
And that was not easy. I mean, my wife was working another job at the same time, trying to pay our bills. And, I had to give up video games. I
Oh,
not from my wife was like, no, you probably
no.
should do that to relax and actually, calm down. I'm like, no, 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 no. I am giving this my all. And I kind of looked at the founding of the company as a video game. It's like there's always a next, adventure that you have to kind of get through the
Yeah.
next round, the next
Yeah.
to-do list, the next, you know, thing to figure out. And then
Oh,
year two, I would say probably got a little bit easier. And then year three is when we're like, okay, like,
we can breathe.
yeah,
Got
we
it.
got this. Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
wait, I have two questions. So, one, what's your favorite what's your go-to video game? Because I also am a gamer, so curious about that. And two, it takes a
Oh, my geeky
really,
side is gonna come out. Okay, shoot.
but then too, and this is not about video games, but I only know very few people that can work with their spouse in a
Mm.
sort of co-founder capacity, and I'm actually really curious about the dynamic of your relationship and how you're able to make that work. So, two different questions,
Yeah.
I know, but like I'm
Oh,
curious about two for both.
fun. Okay,
Yeah.
so the first one about video games is it's an easy winner for me. It's the Civilization games. I don't know if you guys have ever
Oh
heard of
yeah.
them, but
Yep.
they are extremely I'm a history buff, so for me to be able to play a game where you go through the entire civilization
That's
from the
cool.
beginning of history to now or in the future, was such a fun game for me. But I'm kind of rusty, I guess, because I haven't kind of been playing video games since starting the business over almost 10 years ago now. But um, I love Civ
That's
for
cool.
all the, yeah, it's a great one. And then working with a spouse is not for the faint of heart by any means. Let's not sugarcoat it. I mean, my wife and I met in college, so we were in the same program in college. So we would study together, we would work on projects together in college, which is it was a good testing ground for us. But there was no like money on the line. When money's on
Yeah.
Right.
is on the line,
Changes a lot.
Yep.
that gets legit. Like, okay, cool. I don't really care so much about the feelings. We kind of need to, make sure that we're hitting
Yeah.
what we need to be hitting. What's really allowed us to succeed is having different areas to focus on and respecting each other and trusting each other to be
Mm,
the other, like to be in charge of your domain, right? So my wife she runs departments like marketing, HR, operations, and ways that and creative that I cannot do, and I don't trust myself to be better at it than her at all. There's departments that I do, like I run the service and product teams. So I'm in charge of the consulting and the product development. Um, and for me, that's something where I feel very comfortable in that domain and she trusts my expertise. And so I think that's allowed us to really come at it in a way where, I respect what you're saying and where you're coming from in your perspective. It might go against something that my team is trying to do, and that's always fun when our teams are
mm.
conflicting and it rolls up into us. But it is it's it's usually pretty easy for us to just talk it out
That's
and be
amazing.
like, okay,
That's
yeah,
awesome to
That's
hear.
very
Right.
hard to come by. And I'm actually curious, one more question. So like
thanks.
on date nights, okay, when you guys have your date nights,
Oh, what do you talk
I'm
about? Is it
Oh
well,
my
work
I'm
or
that's
God.
what I want to
No
ask. I'm
chill.
like, how is there work involved in the conversations? Like, are you guys like no work on date nights? Like we're just gonna like talk about anything else but like I'm just so curious what
It's a
that's like.
great question. Our rule is that there's no talk of work and our kids because that's how you kind of lose out on each other's as your partner, right? But also my wife knows me, and going back to my obsessive part that I was talking about, like if there's something on my mind, she'll be like, okay, on the car ride there, like we're talking about it now. We're getting this out of the way because I
Yeah.
know you're gonna like it's gonna be on your mind the whole time. And then it has to be done by the time we get there. And then when we get
Mm,
there, it's done.
I
And
love it. You guys
no more
time
talking
box
about
on
it.
your own date
We
nights.
time
Like
That's
box. Yeah,
cool.
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that so
We're like,
much.
That's
yeah, it's
cool.
like, no, you're not talking about this one problem for an hour and a half when we have a babysitter right now. Like
Hmm.
we're drinking, we're having fun. Let's go. You know?
That's awesome. That's the way it should be too. So that's great.
It's my wife's rule. It was actually my wife's parents had that idea. Because they always did a date night. But they didn't work together. But they were like, do not talk about work. And we're like, why? We love it, it's fun. But no,
Yeah.
it's actually
It's
it's
good
nice to have
advice.
a
It's
break.
good
Yeah,
advice from them, I think.
it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. So Maurice, going back to kind of just Big Banana and everything, we said it before we got on the air with you. I've been through RFPs before. They're really arduous. They take a long time. There's a lot of prep work
Yeah.
involved. How have you helped expedite that process, or is it expedited, or does it still take the same amount of time? It's just that you guys are handling a lot of that nitty-gritty work.
It's a good question. We actually got the time down dramatically. And that's like really something I'm very pushy on because it's the biggest time, everyone complains about it, right?
Yep.
Where, it's like, oh, this takes time or whatever. That's always the biggest pain point. And so that's always my job to target the pain points and make them better. Um, we've saved a lot of time on things that take manual labor, like copying and pasting previous content. The old way of, searching through bids manually, plugging the content and plugging it into your current bid, those days are over. We've used AI to make things really fast in a controlled way, right? We'll use tools like Notebook LM, with Google.
Nice.
Claude
Yeah.
is great for creating coworkers, which is something that we're exploring. That was something that was recently introduced in the last couple of weeks, the
That's cool.
co-working
Yeah.
tools, and those are amazing. I mean, those are doing things that we were never able to dream of.
Yeah.
It's truly amazing. With, of course, the controls. I think that the human side really comes in for three different things, right? The first is the accountability, right? Someone
Mhm.
needs to be accountable for what AI is kind of running with. And I think that our team does a really good job of reviewing that stuff, enhancing it to make it actually make sense from what AI will spit out. I think incentives, right? Our team is incentivized whenever people win a bid. My team gets a bonus whenever
Mm,
someone wins a bid. So that incentive of going above and
That's
beyond is
cool.
something that I don't know if AI can really do yet. And three is just like this trust factor, right? The trust of knowing that someone is looking at it, and someone that is being paid by you is looking at it to catch those little details, is something that we also, so we've moved our time really of where we're spending our time to deliver to our clients what they actually need, which is the trust, the accountability, the quality oversight, and not spending the time doing things like copying and pasting or
Yeah,
reviewing a
exactly.
PDF. Like
Yeah.
anyone can do that stuff, and it's nice to not have to charge them for something that is like, yeah, AI can do that. Let's
Again, the
focus on
copy
the
paste
on the
kind of
good
stuff
stuff.
that you got in that first
yeah.
experience, right? At
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
car
And that
dealership.
was my first, by the way, and that was my first job out of college was copying and pasting these, before I was doing RFPs, I was copying and pasting the responses and doing that as a full-time job. And now that job is no longer.
Do you find that like
Yeah.
most RFPs are also the same, like templated, what they're looking for, where it's easy, like a one-to-one, no matter who it is, or are they all unique on their?
They're all unique. They're all unique, but they kind of follow a similar structure. We actually help the guy. I haven't even mentioned this side yet, but we actually help the government write their RFPs and pick
Oh, no
vendors.
way.
Yeah, and
Oh wow.
it's fun. And we always have like a checklist of things that we want to make sure that are in their RFPs, and then we tell the clients on the other side, like, make sure you are having these things in your bids that will always be in your bids. You always want to make sure you're speaking to the entity, right? Like whoever's
Hmm.
issuing the bid, like, yes, it might be very similar to a previous bid you did, but you're missing out on, go on their website. They'll tell you what is their strategic goal for the upcoming year and
Yeah.
tie that into your RFP. It's the
Yeah.
difference between being, this is an okay bid with oh, these people want this business and they're speaking to us. Let's
Hmm.
invite them for the interview.
Do you see that as like a lot of people, not doing that when you first meet with a client that you're going to
Oh
consult
yeah.
with? Like they're not doing the due diligence, which seems kind of 101 almost for stuff like that.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Yeah, like actually, it's pretty rare that I find that clients are actually doing that before working with us. And it's a
Mm.
free tip. It's like, spend the time. If you're looking at 10 RFPs, to choose two of them and then
Yeah.
do the proper due diligence. Don't go out. Some people choose, let's just submit our standard proposal to all 10 entities and see if
Ooh,
any of them bite.
it's like,
And
yeah, that's
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
icky. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. And it's
It's
not, and the entity doesn't, what they do is they just take it. They're like, who? They throw you out. They
it's
don't
like a
care.
silly comparison. It's like a cover
Yeah.
letter, though. If you're going on you want an interview, right? And you're applying
Yes.
for a job, it's like do your research on the company, let
Yep.
them know you know about them, and it takes you miles beyond the person who
Yep.
doesn't.
My
That's
favorite's when I
Yes.
get a cover letter with a completely different company name. I'm like, nope,
Oh, my
uh-huh.
next. That
favorite.
happens it happens more often than you
Yeah.
think.
Or
So
or when you're looking at job applicants and they all have the exact same answer, or like a little bit of a spun different answer on the filtering questions, and you're like, oh yes, you all used AI to
Oh
yep.
go
gosh,
after this.
yeah.
But it's cool because we have tools that can actually help us do that fast. So like we built a Gemini gem that we use internally here is that pulls all the entity requirements. So it's not just on their website. We'll actually go further. We'll go into all their board meeting notes and really that extra level of detail to pull that information into our clients' bids. And again, it's automated with AI. So it's such a beautiful, clients get on and they're like, oh my God, yes. Like even if you've bid with us 100 times, you're like, I'm gonna use this content now to make it that much better for this entity and win. Which ultimately keeps people coming back.
Wow.
Got it. Got it. What, Maurice, what was different about your marketing plan, customer acquisition, your first couple of years in business versus the last, like what's been your plan the last 3 years for customer acquisition? As we're a podcast for,
Yeah.
AI founders.
Yeah, I would say that in the beginning, I or what previously I did was I was really focusing on the consulting side, and I think we put a lot of effort and time into establishing our expertise, right? That we know what we're doing, and now we have, dozens of case studies, and we have, all these referrals and references and things like that, that our focus really shifted to the software and, marketing the software, bringing more people into the software and trying to give people the tools to manage things on their own. For us, where our clients really have said how much they love it is because we're giving them those tools. We also offer a button in our software to get expert help from our team, ties our two business sides together really nicely. And that has been a huge, huge source of our work on the consulting side. It's just through the software. And so
Mhm.
our shift in the last few years has really geared towards, let's get people the help they need to self-service their own help, as opposed to trying to get them to outsource the help to us. And I think that that's been huge.
How are you driving people that way too, though, to like the self-service stuff, Maurice? Like, are you using were you driving people with paid ads to the self-service piece?
Oh
Is it
yeah.
organic? Like how is your acquisition work?
So I'm getting a lot of leads from ChatGPT. I'm finding out
Oh,
from my
Mm.
marketing team.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we didn't. I would love to say that we were geniuses and that we like planned that. And I think what happened was we, yes, we do paid ads. We have to do paid ads. I think,
Yeah.
paid ads are paid ads, but we also do a lot of organic. And we write, I have a full team of writers here. So they're putting out articles all the time on our website. And I think written by humans probably ranks better than just generating it with AI. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I have a ton of content on my website that's free and open and indexed and all that. Um, I think the organic has really let us stand out in the world of AI now, because people are just, talking to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is like, oh, you need help with an RFP, like talk to the BidLab, talk to Bid,
Yeah.
visit BidBanana if you're looking for a bid. And we also make it
Yeah,
really easy to index those pages. So I think it's picking up on it pretty well.
I still think
that's it.
human content too is the way to go. Listen, if AI helps a
Yeah.
structure, great, but it's got to be written by a human, I think, to
Yeah.
help it.
At least human oversight, right?
yeah,
Yeah, human
at the very
oversight or
least,
At
yeah.
or
least.
something. I mean, I think I think humans also have good ideas that like shout out to Clarice on my team who wrote this article recently, and she just like you could just tell she was having fun with it. Like she had all these memes. She actually had a meme
Mm.
from War Dogs in it. And I'm just
There
like,
you go.
yeah, like let's do like
Yeah.
that
And AI
makes,
is not going to be able to like pull that like person like that sort of form of humor and personality, right?
yeah, and
Yeah,
cheekiness, like it's good. And RFPs are, RFPs can be boring for people.
for
We
sure.
want to
Hmm.
make it fun. Like let's not just give them the information. Let's give it in a way that you're like, oh wait, let's book a consult with these people. Like they actually are funny, and
Yeah, yeah,
they're
that's cool.
not, we don't want to make it intimidating. We want to like lower the barrier.
Yeah,
And that's why we have so much free information on our website. It's searchable. And that's our biggest thing. I think it's just giving away for free is a nice way to get it come back to you in the future.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Another question too, following like the acquisition, do you find that a lot of your clients are like new to the RFP, like government contract space, or do most of them have some experience or have tried to put it together the more, I guess, call it traditional way?
That's probably where we do the best is so our clientele is kind of split between two different client types. The ones that are that have done it before, but they're not happy with how it's going. They're not
Hmm.
happy with their win rate. They come to us, we take it over, and it's great. There's also the people that are like, hey, I've just heard of this thing, an RFP. Um, can you help me? We're like,
Yeah.
yeah. And here's how we've done this with other people that have been in your instance and have won their first bid. And they're like, holy, this is $1 million contract. This is insane. And
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
changed their lives. Um, we also offer two different pricing models. One is like standard hourly, but the other is a lower hourly rate that has a commission component. And
Mm.
our clients appreciate that, especially clients that have never done it before, because we're putting our money where our mouth is. we have skin in the game, and our competitors won't do that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's
Interesting.
awesome. That's
I've
awesome.
I've got to ask you, Maurice, while we have you here, because we were just talking about this before we hit record with this interview. What are your thoughts and opinions on what happened over the weekend with Department of War and
Ooh.
OpenAI and
Yeah, this is a
Anthropic?
good one. Thank you.
Oh my God. I love Claude. I love Claude. I am a
Same.
Same.
Yeah,
huge fan. I mean, I'll be honest with you, even
we're
this
pro Claude.
yeah, we're pro Claude here, right? I mean,
Yeah, we are. We
I'm like
are.
Claude has so many people like out there that are like these advocates. I mean, 10 years ago, I was probably that person for like Google, like, with like
Mm,
Google Suite. I'm like, use that over Microsoft. And now I'm like, use Claude
Yeah.
over OpenAI.
Yeah.
Um, so I love Claude. And Claude is clearly, in my opinion, uh, like way ahead of the others. I mean, I still have ChatGPT, I still have Gemini. I use them for different instances, more of like conversational. But if you're actually trying to do real work, we all know that Claude is right now the best. I don't love when it's the best is not given to our military or our government, because I worry that some of our adversaries may not
mm,
have that same situation. And if
mm,
that's the case, we may be fighting with, in the future, one of our arms tied behind our back. And I don't
mm.
know if that's something I would have thought
That's
as
a
a
fair
great
point.
move on the
That is fair.
government.
Yeah, I would never thought
Um,
of that.
but I respect Claude, and I respect Claude for holding their end of it. And I think it makes OpenAI look terrible trying to like jump
I
in
think
on it
so.
right
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
afterwards.
yeah. A
Like
matter of
that,
hours.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I don't know. So I respect Claude for holding its stance, and I think it could because it knows it so much better. And I think Sam Altman of OpenAI is stepping in because now he's able to raise the revenue, which he's been trying to do since he's
Yeah.
now introducing ads, which I think is the
Hmm.
dumbest thing in the world. So, you know, I think Claude is in the right here.
Yeah.
Cool. The other question I had too, like sticking on the AI topic stuff also with this, when it comes to RFPs, do you see anybody who's leveraging AI, like clients of yours leveraging AI, have an easier path into winning an RFP, or does that not matter so much right now?
It does. It actually does if you know how to use it. So I had two clients last year that had very different scenarios. One of them worked with a competitor of ours that was way too early in the AI space and or into pushing into AI and having way too much made way too big of promises. They came to us right before the bid due date and they were like, we just saw the output and it's like please kind of a similar situation to what happened to
Hmm.
my wife 10 years ago. But they paid an arm and a leg for this AI software that didn't
Uh,
work. And then we fixed it for them and it was good. But that was one instance where AI could really trip you up because you're like overly relying on it and you think it's going to be all this stuff and all the promises are made, but the people building it don't have that expertise of really where the human is still needed. Um, I think if you know how to leverage it though, and you're still using the human only way,
Mm,
you're just at a disadvantage. You get
yeah.
burnt out, it's a lot of manual labor, just copying and pasting things and trying to go through the draft 5 times for one bid that you might not win. AI helps with that side. So if you're finding that marriage in between or that balance in between, it's just golden and you're way
Yeah.
better than both.
Yeah.
Do you have any, Morris, do you have any good war stories of a maybe like a small business winning just like a giant freaking government contracting and like just like changing their lives?
I have a great one, and I was on the phone with this client earlier today. And he was one of the people that came to us years ago. He came to us, he used to work at a big transportation company, and he left the company to start his own, to basically be able to provide transportation services to government entities. And I didn't know this at the time, but he apparently gave us like his last $5,000,
Oh,
and
Oh,
that's what
wow.
he invested with us to win the bid. And we won it in Florida. It was in Florida. It was a multi-million dollar RFP. And when he won it, he told me, he's like, I used my last money to win this with you. I was like,
Oh
wow.
that's
man.
huge.
Would you have
I
changed your tune initially if he had
Yeah,
said that
really,
up
right?
front?
well,
Would it
no,
was like,
but the truth is now I could say no, I wouldn't have. I would have done it the
Yeah.
exact same way
yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
won
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
I told him I was like, that's a lot, you know.
Yeah, it's risky.
But honestly, I have to tell you, I really take it. I still take it very seriously whenever someone invests with us. I with him, he was smart enough. He took that win and actually reinvested and grew, and we went after bids across the country, and now he's killing it. I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
he has
Wow.
huge multi-million-dollar contracts around the United States. Um, and I'm impressed with him because he knew like where to rely on us and where to kind of he had to take his own leap of faith in the beginning, right? To
Yeah.
kind of jump in and do it. Um, but we've since now we have all these case studies and things like that make it a little bit less of a leap of faith. But he was one of this was back in the day. And I'm just proud of that because I think that small businesses really change it, right? If you think about this person, he was working for one huge transportation company making the same amount every year. He wasn't, the more work he didn't get paid more or anything like that. He went out, he took a risk, he started his own business, and now he's making millions of dollars and he's so philanthropic. He's doing so much around the country, giving back. And it's like, cool, yeah, we were a part of that. Like I get
That's
to take a
That's
little
awesome.
bit
cool.
of credit for that. And that's why I do what I do. It's really nice to be able to bring that to small businesses.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you ever seen like so on the opposite end of the spectrum? I think that's a fantastic win. Have you ever seen someone come in and it's for whatever purpose it just doesn't pan out for them, like when it comes to RFPs?
Yeah, yeah, it does. I think people that are looking for a quick win, like
Yeah,
like they're already having cash flow issues, or they're already having, like, they just already lost a huge client of theirs or something, and they're looking for the RFP to like save their business.
Mm.
gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
that I oh, what I get that call pretty often actually, and when
Ooh.
that happens, it's really there's certain things we can do, right? We could go after like things like RFQs, so like requests for quotes, right? That are really just like quick turnarounds, smaller contract sizes usually, but like you could quote them, get it in, done, win it. Maybe you could get some cash in. Usually, though, you're looking at like a 90-day cycle before you're getting paid, because you have to first win it, get awarded, get the work started, and start working before you get paid. And
Right.
so I think managing that expectation is RFPs are not going to be like the thing that pulls you out of a really bad situation tomorrow.
Right.
It's something you need to be proactive about and think about before you're kind of in a bad situation.
Do you get that ever up front either from any clients? They kind of keep that, internal, right? Like cash flow issues or anything like that, or have they approached me like, hey, we are looking for the quick win, the money to help support and keep the business moving forward? Or
Usually they'll tell us because they're under so much pressure. And we actually like to know that with people. When we're onboarding people, we really want to understand what their expectation is for ROI. Um, and my team's all about it. Like if you're not, it would be terrible to kind of take the money from someone as the ship is going down. Like they could possibly use that money elsewhere, to really save their business. And I'm a believer of that. If there's something that it's not a good fit, I will tell you to your face, this is not a
yeah,
good
be
fit.
my next
Like I
question
Yeah.
don't,
too.
Yeah.
yeah,
Have you
like
turned people
Yeah.
away and been like,
yes,
hey, listen, this just isn't go, it's not a
I
good fit?
we turn people away all the time.
Yeah.
And only be out of their self-interest, not out of anything with us. It's like I've learned that in this business, A, your reputation matters, but B, like you you only get one shot with people. So if you're honest with that,
Hmm.
if you're honest with them the first time, it actually they'll come back to you. I've had so many instances where people have said, or they can't afford our services in the beginning or something like that. And I give them, I'll tell my sales team gives them, you know, every single document they think could help them, from our website that can do it. And then a year later, they'll come back and be like, "Hey, you guys are
Hmm.
so nice. Like, I would
Yeah.
love to work with you now." And you're like, "Great, yeah, like, we'd love to
Now we're
do that."
ready. Yeah,
Now we're
that's
ready, and
awesome.
now you're
Mm.
ready, and now it's like this could actually be successful.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What as we're close to wrapping up here,
Oh my, already? Wow.
Maurice,
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
what about that movie was accurate? War Dogs, what was inaccurate?
Oh, I like that. Okay, so the accurate part is that there's actually, yeah, there's a shit ton of money out there. Like it's that exciting. There are that many opportunities. Like when you're watching the movie and you see him, going through sam.gov, and he's just looking through the government.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
actually only the federal. That's only the federal. There's also dozens of state, and then there's hundreds of, if not thousands of local bids also able to, do that. So that's there. Like the money is there. The flaw in the myth, um, like in the part of the movie that I still can't understand is like their ability to get through like the past performance component of the bid, which is you need to prove that you're not a risky choice, right? You need to show how you've performed this for other similar entities in the past of the same size, typically as in an RFP. And when they came in, like I think it was like $55 million under budget, or under the competitor's bid, like that's actually a huge red flag for a procurement person. Like they do not want to go with someone that's $55 million under budget, because that is actually a huge red flag and a higher risk. They're not going to think about it from an evaluator's perspective. They're not going to get paid more if you're saving the government some money. Where you're going to make money is if this actually gets implemented the right way and you didn't have a default in the middle of a implementation or something.
That's a total optics thing too for them,
it's
right?
an
Like you're going to
thing.
charge what you're worth and commensurate to based on what you can provide.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that part of like that, it was such a fun scene when he's like screaming, that he did the 55 million. But that actually, I was like, in real life, that would have been red flags, interviews, an audit of why, how that was even able to get there. So my advice to people is go after the big government contracts. They're big, but don't do a bunch of cocaine and try to finagle the government. It won't work.
A good tip for everybody out there listening. It's a good tip.
Okay. BidLab. That's great.
All right, cool. So as we close up here, Maurice, where can our listeners find you?
Go visit us at bidbanana.com and thebidlab.com. Follow us on socials, the BidLab, BidBanana. We're on all of them. And if you ever have any questions, there's a free consultation button on our website. You can always reach out and someone will give you free help.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Maurice.
Thanks, Maurice. You've been such a pleasure.
This is my pleasure. I had the best time. You guys are great.
Did you?
Thank you.
That makes us happy. That makes me
Thanks,
happy.
Maurice. Cheers,
so
man.
much fun.
Right. Thanks, Maurice.
Awesome, guys. See you.
Hey guys, Conor here with Builders Growth Lab. If you're looking for a way to stay up to date on the latest news, trends, topics in AI and marketing, look no further. Visit us at buildersgrowthlab.ai and sign up for our newsletter today. In it, you'll find quick takeaways from our latest show, as well as simple tips on how to market your app. That's buildersgrowthlab.ai. Sign up today.
Okay, guys, that was fun. I learned a lot. I didn't know anything about government RFPs, but I feel like.
Do you want to do them now, Mallory? Would you do them with BidBanana?
Well, now I'm like, wow, $100 million deal. I mean,
I
wonder
what's
out there,
I don't know.
I've looked into them before, and I've done one with another agency that I work with, and again, they're a pain in the butt. Yeah. He makes it sound so easy, but I've looked at him even for my own agency, and it's just the minute you get into it, I'm just like, no. I'm like, never mind. I don't want to do any of this. I'm like,
too much,
no.
Right?
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It's very overwhelming. So
how long did it take between when they got back to you for that?
Oh man,
proposal?
So the agency I worked with, we did something for the Department of Agriculture in the state of New Jersey, and then there was the Department of Transportation in New Jersey as well. And both RFPs, it took probably a good 45 to 60 days to put it together. It was just so
to put together.
Because you're creating mock-ups, you're giving them strategies, you're telling them, you're giving them your 6 month to 1 year plan, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what they want to see. And on top of it, you're saying, okay, well, if we're going to run a campaign for healthier eating, right, with the Department of Agriculture, it's like, this is what the billboards are going to look like. This is what the, flyers look like. This is what the digital
So you have to do all the work, like
you're doing all of the work with no compensation on the hope that you get even to the next round, and then the next round you sit down with the heads of the departments and you speak to them and you talk to your strategy, and then it's like if you get to the last round, it's usually 3 people, and we got to the last round for each one. And you just talk through it a little bit more, right? And say, okay, this is what deliverables look like. This is what your next 6 months are. And then this is your post 6 month plan. And it's a lot. It's a lot. So
how long did that whole process take between submission and then?
Probably 90 days, like a good 90 days.
Okay.
Like, and some are shorter. I know from just hearsay and stuff. Like
Yeah.
some of them will just need something really quick, but they'll mostly give you time to prep. And the thing is, you have to submit something for an RFP, and they have to allow you to then submit it to them. Like you can't just be anybody and submit an RFP.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to
yeah,
say,
yeah,
"Hey,
yeah.
I'm Connor from Astoria Advertising.
Yeah.
Here's what we do. Would you allow me to submit an RFP for this specific job, right? Or whatever it is that they have out there." And then they allow you, and then it goes through the whole process of putting together the game
Yeah.
plan,
Gotcha.
basically. So
Um,
It's crazy.
a lot of money, though. These things are a
yeah.
ton of money.
And government always pays, right?
Yeah.
No defaults. I learned, obviously I learned a lot. The submission process, procurement process.
Mm.
Pretty cool how he started consulting and then got into the SaaS game. His marketing strategy, paid versus organic, that was pretty cool. And then talked about the movie and got his thoughts on Department of War and
Yeah, that's
OpenAI
interesting. And
and
Yeah.
Anthropic.
I
That was pretty
I
cool.
have mad respect for those that also go into business with their significant others. It is so difficult
Oh
to
gosh.
do, and I thought
Oh
that was
man, that
actually
Could
kind of
not imagine.
fascinating.
yeah, that's gnarly.
So
Could not
yeah,
imagine.
yeah.
So definitely have to be on like the same track together, like almost 99% of the time,
100%.
which I just find like so difficult to do. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
more power to them. But super insightful conversation. It was awesome talking to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Okay. Let's talk about what's pooping in our pants. All right, guys. It's that time again. It's time for poopy pants. And
Can you give us a long one, a big intro? Can you give us like a
I'll
like
work
hit
on
that-
it. I'll
As
work
you're
on it.
sick, Mallory, I want you to
Yeah.
tell a
I
really
know.
long.
Like-
now?
But okay. So yes, let's talk about poopy pants. I'll go first because mine's gonna be quick. First, I think this is obvious, but I'm just gonna say it because it's top of mind. I think OpenAI working so closely with the Defense of War and our government gave me poopy pants this weekend. I mean, I already was on my way out with ChatGPT for data reasons and other reasons, but this kind of
Mhm.
just like I think hit the nail on the coffin for folks like myself. And I know many others. I think the internet was like in uproar this past weekend. Everywhere I looked, whether it's X or Reddit, like people are TikTok even. People are just like, yeah, we're done with this platform. So I think that is giving me a lot of poopy pants. And now my data's still there. So I'm like, I need to delete it and so I'm not using it, but I still need to like do that sort of cleanup. Um, honestly, that's
still-
my biggest poopy pants.
Do you still
So
have your account?
I do,
Excuse
I
me.
still do have my account. I tried to export all of my data, but I never got an email saying it was like it's ready. So I think I need to do it again.
Yeah, I'm
That's
using
what
it
I'm
less
waiting
and less.
for,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
using it
less
really
and less.
I'm not really using it. I think the other thing that's giving me poopy pants is that like Claude has been really difficult to work with this week, and I
Mhm.
don't know if it's because there's such a massive influx of traffic, but just like
Yeah.
I'm trying to give it screenshots of things. It's like, nope, your network can't connect. Your network
Correct.
can't connect.
Yep.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Same
I'm
thing.
like, and then I even looked it up. I'm like, is this my internet? I'm like, I don't think this is
No.
my internet.
Was
Okay.
it specifically yesterday morning?
It was specifically yesterday. I mean, I've
Yeah.
had a few
was
issues in the
down.
last week, but then okay, well, that makes more
Oh,
sense.
it
I
was
didn't even know
down, but
that.
there's been other
Yeah.
blips here or there where the server just goes down. I think it's probably traffic influx because I think you're probably
Yeah.
getting a lot of people
Yeah.
who are going there instead of ChatGPT. So
Yeah.
I almost look at it in a way as like it just reminds me of like the internet wars, but it's accelerated where it's like chat is like the AOL, and it's
Yeah.
like it's just
Yeah, it is. It's like
losing
Netscape.
face.
Netscape,
Yeah,
right? Like,
exactly. It's
yeah.
just like kind of losing
Netscape
face, and
to
it's not
Yahoo.
doing well. But
But like, why did Sam Altman think that would be a good idea? Like, I just don't understand
To,
like
like,
why
swoop
that
in?
needed to. Yeah, like and like okay, like and make it this whole public announcement and like yeah, there's gonna be some people that are for it, but I'm like, this is gonna be mostly unpopular. I don't know like what he was thinking because
I don't
like
know.
money.
yeah, that's fair. You're right. Because I was like the Anthropic CEO went out and did like
It's
a little
probably
press thing this weekend and was just like,
to move in
yeah,
and
this
block
is
them from
crazy.
not
This has
doing it.
never happened. It was like kind of the way he was phrasing it versus like
Yeah.
fuck our government. It wasn't like that. It was like, yeah, this is like never happened before. So Yeah, I don't know. That's just giving me poopy pants. What about you guys, Connor?
Oh, do I have to say?
I mean,
Uh,
How was
I-
TSA through the whole
they
airport
were fine.
process?
TSA was fine. TSA was fine.
TSA was the best part. Are you kidding me?
TSA was the best part. It was actually the most convenient part. I was like, wow, this is so nice. But I mean, listen, the not the entire trip. Hard Rock, screw Hard Rock. Like big poopy pants over that. Just like this bait and switch type thing, and like kind
What
of
did you?
expressing like what.
Sorry to cut you off. Like when you got that bill for an extra like $700 or like an extra $1,000 or like whatever it was, like how did
It's
you
like
react to
resort
that?
fees, dude. It's resort fees.
Oh, is
Like,
it?
and it's like those hidden things that they don't tell you about. And again, I guess I don't know if that's a national law, what it is. And I was just really upset to the point where I'm like, I want to go to my bank and be like, no, like I want to claim X amount as like
It's fraud.
fraudulent charges, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. I again been there, lesson learned. Hard Rock has gave me big poopy pants this week, and Claude also servers going down gave me big poopy
Yeah.
pants just because I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm almost solely working in Claude now. At
Yeah,
this
me
point.
too.
And
Yeah.
when I can't keep moving something and I'm making progress, it's very aggravating to have to stop and then go back to it when it's going to work again. But yeah, there you go, poopy pants.
So yeah, I'm gonna jump on that. I'm gonna just hammer that punching bag too. I was freaking out, not freaking out. Yeah, I was getting poopy pants yesterday morning. We record on Tuesdays. Yesterday being Monday morning, Claude Anthropic was down. I had some poopy pants.
Yeah.
Bad internet connections give me poopy pants. I've been dropping in and out of this podcast recording. Yeah, I kind of freak out. I hate when technology doesn't work. So last Wednesday or Thursday, I don't remember. It was before I got sick. I've been having like stomach issues.
Mm.
And I think I'm gluten intolerant, I think. So talked to a
Oh.
specialist, and she says, so through my healthcare, I talked to the specialist, and she said, yeah, you have to download the app, and blah blah blah. I download the app. It is garbage. It is so bad, and it's bad from a user perspective as far as like getting what I need, which is the data that the notes that the specialist gave me. They're centralized in the app, so I have to access that, and I can't find my way around. And so I was like, I was
Yeah.
just kind of throwing a fit about that. Still haven't gotten it, by the way. It's almost 1 week later. That gives me poopy pants. Just apps that just have bad
Well, it's like these websites.
customer flow.
Yeah, it's like these websites for small businesses and even like medical practices are not good in the first place. And so, of course, the app
Ugh,
that they create is also going to be bad because,
brutal.
like, you know what I
So
mean?
brutal. Ugh,
Like, if you
just
can't create a good website or a decent website, you're not going to create a decent app. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Part of
So,
me is like, you know what? Like, I can make a better app than this.
I'm sure
This
you
is
can. I'm
fucking
sure you can. You
trash.
could probably vibe code something in like 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's going to be significantly
I
better
could
than
run a
whatever they have.
hotspot
So,
from my phone with no Wi-Fi and whip something up better than that.
yeah. Yeah.
So that
That's
gave me poopy
wild.
pants. Yeah, and bad internet connections. Like I said, this has been going up and down. Thanks, Comcast. I know Sam Altman is listening, but if Comcast is, they can fuck right off.
Sam
So
Altman.
yeah,
Oh
uh,
boy.
I, I'm scared of Sam Altman, so I'm not
He's
gonna
got bigger
say
fish to fry than this podcast. I can tell you that much, I think. But
he's listening to everything. Yeah. Anyways, what happened, Mallory? What happened in AI last week? What
what
are the
happened
big
in
headlines?
AI last week? Okay, that wasn't a good song. Don't listen to that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, so first of all, we've got the OpenAI and Anthropic Pentagon war that happened at the end of February. Trump banned all federal agencies from using Anthropic. Hegseth designated them a national security supply chain risk, a label usually reserved for foreign adversaries. Hours later, OpenAI swooped in and signed a Pentagon deal. Then the internet sort of turned. Claude hit #1 on the App Store the next day. Free users surged by 60%. Daily signups tripled, which is why
Woo.
we're having problems with Claude this week.
Yep.
Apparently, Katy Perry posted her Claude Pro subscription
Oh, I
with a
saw
heart
that.
emoji. And then that's so funny. And then
Oh my gosh.
I know. And then Altman later admitted the deal was definitely rushed and the optics don't look good, and the story is really still unfolding. And this was a part of, the poopy pants segment I just talked about. But
Yeah.
outside of being aligned with the Defense of War, I think Department of War, sorry, I think it's users being concerned about mass surveillance and how their data
Yeah.
is going to be used in that way. And so, yeah, I mean, what do we think here?
Uh, it only took a couple of hours for OpenAI to swoop in and take that deal. I think that's a stretch. I bet it was I bet it was like right like immediate. I bet they were right there. Part of me, hats off to Dario Amade for holding strong and not compromising restrictions on Claude. I think that's pretty ballsy. Good for him. But yeah, I wonder what happens to all of our data now and all of our shit with OpenAI. So what do I think? I mean, not stoked about it, but
I feel like we're all on the same page, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's
I
where we're at. But
just also feel like
I think
it's
hats off with Dario. What's his sister's name? I can never remember her
I
name.
forgot. I know, but she's also a founder, correct, of
Yeah,
Anthropic? Yeah.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
there's like 4 or 5 the former OpenAI employees,
Yep.
but hats
Yep.
off to them.
Yeah,
I
just feel
I
like
agree.
it's also just so hastily done right now. Like, I don't know, the integration of AI into the Department of Defense and the war stuff. I don't know. It's just like, have we vetted stuff enough like that to make sure that it's going to be doing what it's supposed to be doing? Like, guys, this is still, I know AI has been around for much longer than we've been talking about it, right? And Vibe Coding's been around, but still, it's like at
Yeah.
the capacity that it's being used, like it hasn't been vetted enough to me to like make sure it's going to do the right thing or make the right decisions or be leveraged for, something good as opposed to doing something wrong. And
I
it's
think
like,
it was, which is why they wanted Anthropic to loosen it, and Dario was like,
No.
nah, fam. And then
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like, all right,
They wanted like unlimited access to Claude, like okay, whatever.
yeah.
All right, continuing on. Jack Dorsey cuts 40% of Block and says every company will follow. So Block went from 10,000 to 6,000 employees. Dorsey tied it directly to AI in a letter to shareholders. Intelligence tools have changed what it means to build and run a company. The stock jumped by 24%. He also predicted most companies will do the same within a year. The real debate is this a genuine sort of AI efficiency or COVID sort of overhire cleanup? With AI as sort of like the convenient sort of story and cover up here.
probably a little bit of both, I think, in terms
Yeah.
of the post-COVID overhire stuff, and then just AI replacing people's jobs.
Yeah, didn't Amazon do the same thing? And well, not that many, but
I mean, a lot of other tech companies I feel like have done the same thing. This is interesting to me because it's like, yeah, we're seeing more efficiency with AI, but the reality is that a lot of this work still needs to be done and to some extent needs to be overseen by a human being or a team of human beings. And so as bummed out as I am to see more cuts, I mean, I had some friends that were laid off last week outside of just this news. Like it's really,
really,
it's absolutely happening here.
Mhm.
Um, I I feel like Connor's right. It's kind of a little bit of both, right? Like I just don't think AI is even in a place yet where it can truly replace everyone. Although
No.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and there's a lot of experts saying like, a lot perhaps in the next like 12 to 18 months we're going to see even a higher percentage of white collar jobs sort of being taken up by AI. And I think there's some truth to that. But going back to what I said, like it's not, I feel like I said, it's the work still needs to be done. So I don't know how this will kind of pan out in the next year, but it just makes me sad because I'm like, oh my God, what's going to really happen to the state of our economy and these folks that are not going to be able to find jobs. On the bright side, I've been telling everyone that this is a wonderful time to start a business and to also be an entrepreneur, which I know is not something that everyone wants to do, but even if you don't want to run your own business, like it's still a great time for freelancing and I think contracting work in that capacity. So, um that's potentially the upside, but like shit, I hope he didn't like announce this to everyone on Twitter and not like share it with the team first at the very least, but who
I
knows?
hope they didn't find out from that tweet.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm,
And I heard some rumblings that that was the case. I don't know if that's
Oh
a
shit,
rumor or if
really?
that's true. Yeah, I can't sit here and be like, that's true, right? But like, um, we don't know that to be the case. I would hope that he didn't do that. But yeah,
Hmm.
I
I
think we
think.
will see other companies follow suit.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
yeah, I
I
think that's a
think
no-brainer. So,
white Bloomberg News says I forgot who it was. White collar intro level analyst jobs will be wiped out, like
yep,
within the next like 12 to 18 months.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
And again, like we say this on this pod all the time, that your job won't be replaced by AI. It'll be replaced or downsized to one person that knows how to use AI.
Yeah.
And I think if you check out the article that Elena wrote from Lovable,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really good.
I just still think too, it's probably one of these things where yes, you're having some of these mass layoffs happening, but I think it's all just like a money grab, right? Okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
save some money in the interim right now,
Yeah.
but it's
Stock
like
price is going to go up.
6 months from now, it's like they're going to sit there and be like, okay, now with the use of AI again, which needs to still be controlled mostly by humans, you're
Yeah.
going to then be like, crap, I have, whatever, 2,000 positions I need to fill for people who know how to use it for whatever the purpose may be, right? So I think they're
Yeah.
kind of cutting it out, but not realizing that, again, 6 months from now, however advanced it is, you still need people to come in and work and check it and make sure it's doing the right thing. And I think it's just going to, you're not going to hire the same people back, but you're going to be hiring different people to fill in positions that weren't filled in before.
I think they're going to have a bigger emphasis on agentic use, agentic engineering, I guess is the buzzword. And yeah, I think one person can handle, I mean, I don't know about hundreds, but a lot of agents to take that up. Wow, I sound terrible. Holy smokes.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think 2026 is the year of agents. And
Yeah.
I think they will absolutely take over. So
Yeah. I'm just kind of scrolling through the news, and like Bloomberg just wrote that like the Qualcomm CEO predicts 2026 will be the year of the AI agent. I mean, I feel like that's obvious. Just like going into 2025, at the end of 2024, you saw that vibe coding explosion. And I think at the end of last year, right, like people are starting to actually use AI agents in a way that's like, actually usable, provides value. And so now moving into this year, it's going to be all about agents and learning how to use them, et cetera. So, yeah. And that's where we're at. That's it for the AI news stuff. I think something I brought up to my husband last night that is interesting is I'm really curious to understand how this technology will affect sectors like health. I'm obviously not a health expert by any means, but there are a lot of other industries that we just don't talk about that I think will be not in terms of job loss be impacted, but by innovation. I have a friend who I worked with at Discord. She worked at Xbox and Microsoft. She's worked at a few other companies, but she just joined a biotech company here in SF where they train robots essentially to do like biotech related work. And their office has like a little like 100 like robot type arms and what have you, like doing and training the work. But like, my question is, it's like, how are we going to see that transform in health and in other sectors that the three of us kind of are just not familiar with? And that is something I will kind of want to keep a close eye on too.
I'm going to keep a close eye on finance.
Yeah.
Isn't there a Claude plugin now for finance?
Is there? Oh my gosh.
I'm sure that, well, that was the Excel spreadsheet thing. Yeah.
It's like
It's like a financial analyst.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, and it can forecast, it can like look at your books, like again, but then you're sharing all of your financial data with
Claude. I saw it on Bloomberg and I was like, well, okay. Yeah. Alrighty. Interesting. Well, cool. All right. Does that wrap it up for
That's wrapping it up. That's the pod for this week. Cool. To our listeners, I know Charlie and I were mega sick and we're dealing with some tech issues, so apologies, but we'll be back next week for some more Builders Growth Lab. And who are we talking to? Feel better. But who are we talking to next week, Charlie? Do we have a guest for next week?
No, we have we're going to talk SEO next week.
All right.
Next
my
level
favorite
SEO.
SEO.
Fuck off, Mallory.
Bring your pillow, Mallory.
I know. I want to be like this, but then secretly like I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Leave me alone, Mallory. Don't talk to me anymore.
I know.
Peace, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Builders Growth Lab. Catch us wherever you consume your podcast. Peace.